And welcome to this wonderful Monday afternoon where it is a whopping 31 degrees out and I have my window open because it's hot as fuck. Anyways, last session, what did happen last session? They entered the temple and dodged a major trap that mildly disappointed me that nobody got hurt, but hey, it happens. It was magical runes on the floor, and one of the spellcasters, I believe it was Naran Batar, cast a spell and proceeded to watch the floor in front of them completely collapse. And then, preceding that, they made their way across and eventually found themselves in the center of holding chamber, I guess you would say, where there was a large stone in the middle of the room and a very friendly
Don't lie.
very, very friendly angel that had black wings, pale skin, and flowing white hair that proceeded to
attempt bloody murder on all of us.
Yes, attempt bloody murder on all of you.
The nicest person I've ever met, to be honest.
It completely smashed in Naran Batar's ribs and proceeded to lob off Dr. Victor Henko's hand. Beyond that and the shock, they found some scrolls, a lot of gold, and their way out. And now they find themselves on the beach of the...
You left out the most important part.
What did I miss?
We found a shiny MacGuffin.
Oh, you
know, like the most important part of the whole quest.
That is on brand for me to forget. They found their item that Tantor was looking for, though Tantor didn't quite understand what he was looking for, and still doesn't quite understand what he found. However, Zaza and Greyfalor do know what they are holding, and Victor, from my understanding, has a loose understanding. But they found themselves a fallen star or a shard, also known as a tear.
All I know is that this matches the exact description that Kalhala Allard told me to look for.
Correct.
We also bullied the stone off of the archaeologist and gave him some pottery.
Yes, you did. You did threaten the archaeologist.
I didn't threaten him. I persuaded him.
Sure.
I said, this is way too dangerous. You should leave it with professionals.
Fair enough.
We also persuaded him with Greyfalor, which,
True, he did help me.
Yes. Forgive me, I need to put my Discord into streamer mode. I thought it was, but it is not. As much as I want the bing bing bing.
Have you noticed that if that happens in a stream that you're watching, you immediately go and check your own Discord?
There we go.
Instinctually at this point.
Anywho. Where was I?
You were wrapping up last session, and
yeah,
we were about to get into the action, I think.
Also, I implemented, thanks to Sir Ironblood's help right here, the dice counter, so you guys can be part of the action, because it was one of the requests, and here it is. So, that's new.
Yes, players, so roll on D&D Beyond exclusively, players.
Roger that. We also... oh, that's a point. I should probably activate... yeah.
Yes, you should.
Mm-hmm.
We also fed Greyfalor, so we will not have attack mushroom of inconvenience.
The carnivorous myconoid looking ass.
Yes, exactly.
I just activated Fafnir, just so you know.
Fantastic.
Who's Fafnir?
We will get to that.
Who's this Fafnir guy you talking about? Anyways, so You guys find your...
Tantor, I will stab you in the throat.
uh, you find yourselves on the beach, the waves crashing in. It is a warm, humid day, but the humidity seems to level off once you hit the beachhead. And there is your ship. Well, sorry, Tantor's ship, but the ship nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all wish to do anything before you leave?
Nope. I'm gonna stumble aboard the ship and find a place to sit down.
Okay.
I'm going to glare a little at Tantor, and then I am going to go aboard.
You guys row yourself to the ship, and...
I don't.
When you say you guys, you mean Narambatar and everyone else, right?
Correct, yes. Y'all a bunch of bastards. I remove one hand. Anywho.
He's not so handy anymore.
Hey man, but if you ever need a hand, I have one ready. I can
Spare.
even toss it to you. If I was a tavern brawler, I could use it as a lethal weapon.
That is true.
I'm gonna bitch slap you with this hand in my hand.
I'm gonna bitch slap you with a table that I didn't consult the party about.
Bite me.
Anyway.
Anyways. Since you brought it up, is everybody fine with me using that table? Since I forgot to ask.
Nah, it's cool to me.
Okay, great. Anywho, you guys land upon the ship, Tantor coming up, and he's like, well, I'm gonna put, as he looks down at like the glass and the bit of pottery, my findings in my cargo hold, and I'll be in my my office if you need me.
That you do.
Yep. And he tells the first mate and the captain to get ready to sail off.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna take a belt out of my healer's kit, and I'm going to bind it around my forearm and tenderly remove the bandaging around my nub and examine how clean or not clean the cut was.
I'm going to sit there and help him with this.
Cool. I'm not going to make you roll a medicine check for it since you're literally looking at it and you've been a doctor for
I've
years.
Seen many wounds like this before, just not on myself.
You see a few leftovers of the necrosis that was sinking in before Narambatar healed you.
Mm-hmm. Narambatar.
Or wait.
Was it Narambatar? It was Grafalor.
Grafalor healed you. Okay, cool. You... it is cleanly shut thanks to magical means, but, yeah, your hand is definitely missing. It looks like an amputated arm. Just with some black splotches.
Closed up and healed?
Correct, yes. Thanks to magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna remove my glove and just silently, run my hand over it, still, coming to terms with it.
Okay.
Thank you for the help.
My pleasure.
Blank, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go on the ship and find a spot to relax in.
Okay.
I believe that there are quarters below decks.
Sounds good. I'll find a little spot.
So you go down below. There's a few empty bunks that don't seem like they've been disturbed. Are you wanting to sleep, meditate, hit a massive pipe?
I will meditate.
Meditate? Okay. As you guys go about your business, you see the sails drop and you guys are starting to take off. You see that Greyfalor skitters his way down into the belly of the
Cocoon.
ship somewhere. And you don't see him. About an hour passes, and you guys are now at sea. Something to point out. You are now heading towards the winter months, or not heading towards. You are in the winter months, so it is about you would say more or less on the open seas, about 14 degrees Fahrenheit, or about, what is that, -5, -6 Celsius for you Euros. And yeah, so it is brisk. It is very cold above deck. There's a slight breeze as you guys are sailing. Is there anything that you guys want to do during this time?
I'm just gonna read, I guess. Try to piece together some things that Grafalor and Zaza have told me about Nox and the Fallen Star, and correlate it with what Kalhala Allard and a few other of my contacts have said.
Okay.
Narambatan's going to join Dr. Henkel, and he's going to sit opposite him.
I'm at a desk, I presume below decks, and I've got an old man monocle over my one good eye, and I'm just like Gandalf in the library, just like poring over papers, and like, yeah, just cross-checking, and my brow is furrowed, and I'm just thinking really, really hard.
You're going to see Narambatan looks a little pale. You've noticed that he doesn't like ships, particularly. He finds all this a little uncomfortable. And he's going to sit opposite you. Doctor, I have been considering.
What is that, Gaston?
What are those creatures we faced?
Are you referring to the angel?
Yaksha, more like. I have never seen anything like it. Aside from in the town we've seen multiple of those now.
Henkel stops what he's doing, places his elbows on the table, and looks at you with that critical grandpa look. I have seen an army of them. That was just one of them. They are very dangerous.
I'm going to sit back a moment. My people do not know that they're there. We are a isolated people. We care not for the wars of others. We fight our own. But they must know.
The Rubidon is steadily losing the line against the Black Legion. However, they are doing their best, which is unfortunately not good enough. We need to bring the factions together. And somehow, that fallen star in the bag, that has something to do with it.
What is everybody's passive perception?
9.
12.
14.
Narambatar,
is high.
Victor. As you guys are talking, unbeknownst to you, you suddenly hear Greyfalor's voice going to be talking to both of you, as you're not sure how long he's been there, but he's like, "They're calling to me. The mists. We must go see the mists."
The mists?
Yes, home, home. I must go home.
I haven't really heard of the mist in Saga. What is it?
No. The mists,
How does one describe where I'm from? Gryffindor doesn't remember how he got here, but he remembers the mist.
Well, you should tell the captain. I am here to protect you and everyone else in this party. Especially with the advent of this fallen star.
Yes.
If my
fallen
data is
star.
correct. If my data is correct. Nox will find us and he will kill us all.
Maybe.
You're going to see Narambatar, like, gently stroking his moustache, goatee, and considering. I believe that once we return to the Ruby Dawn, I must leave and tell my people and bring them to the fight.
Yes. If you do not bring your people will be slaughtered or enslaved.
You're going to see him look somewhat defiant at that and say, "We would not go easily."
Well, neither did the Horde, but they're all dead too.
There's a shadow of grief on Henkel's face for a moment before he looks back to Gryffindor. Direct the captain. Trust
Right.
your instincts.
Yes.
As he spatters off. Ugh.
In
It's
which case, Doctor, he's going to remove the little cloth sack with the stone and he's going to place it on the desk. I believe you should have this.
I sit up a little bit, looking at this covered stone. My brows furrowed, looking at it, back to you, and then back to it. I can watch it.
I will be leaving, and I think
Can-
you should have it.
Everyone do a perception check hearing for me.
Sure.
Jesus
Do I hear
Christ.
this?
Everybody, yes.
Perception.
I'm very old. I cannot hear very well.
21.
21.
Okay, so this is my first time using D&D Beyond to play. How do I roll?
So
I
you...
see. Maybe.
Hi, Vic.
Hello, Vic.
Hello?
What's up?
The short answer, your abilities should have little cubes by them over like the plus or the damage. You can either click those, or on your character sheet there should be a little dice in the bottom left-hand corner. You do it that way as well.
Cool. Okay, and I got a 3.
Cool. All right. Anyways.
Not sure if I was supposed to roll or not, but
Nope. You're not
not
even
here.
here.
okay.
Anywho, so we got a 21. Naran Batar, what did you get?
7.
Oof. Victor?
4.
Oof.
4.
My God. Okay.
I'm a deaf old man having a
I'm
conversation.
gonna say that you're having a conversation in your below deck. Yep.
Yep,
So,
so am I.
you hear off in the distance slowly getting louder and louder, almost like a buzzing sound that just goes.
I go to Naran Batar and Victor and say there's a strange noise coming up from outside.
Narambatar's going to shoot up to his feet and nearly stumble over because of the stupid rocking of these weird...
Oh yeah, you have no
seagulls.
sea legs.
He's going to turn and... Show me!
So, as you guys get above deck, you also hear like a bell being, and you see the crew like running about, and Tantra being like, "What the hell is that?" As you
Question.
What's up?
Did we get a long rest?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I should have clarified that. My bad. Um, as you guys, all your wounds suddenly heal up in a matter of 8 hours. Um, you you hear this sound, and off in the distance, it is not that hard to see. You see a vibrant, very colorful, what almost looks like giant dragonfly coming towards you.
A dragonfly?
Correct.
Is my sword glowing or buzzing?
No. Nope.
I remain at ease, resting my hand on the hilt, and I patiently wait for it to arrive.
So,
You're going to see Narambatar, like, unhook his javelin and get it ready. And also take hold of his brooch and hold it ready.
Whatever this
And,
is does not pose a threat.
and Soul will also just fly up a little bit, prepared for if something starts attacking.
uh, so as you guys prepare yourself, more or less, you see as this dragonfly, one, becomes more apparently artificial, and two, much larger than you expected. As you see it start coming towards the ship and descending to hover right next to it. As you see a mechanical gangplank come out and then land on the side of the ship.
Eyebrows shoot up.
You see two figures. Victor, one you recognize, a very elegant looking tiefling that is purplish red with flowing orange robe or dark orange robes that go into a what's the word I'm looking for? Fades into red.
Orange
with-
and red cloak.
Yep.
Purple tiefling.
And
Who's this?
it is Kahala Allard that you are staring at
Oh.
currently. And then behind her, you all hear, "Yep, that's definitely them." As this wonderful little goblin that has a massive bomb on his back, comes out. "Yep, that's the one we were looking for. Creepy necromancer, check. Creepy goblin, check. I don't know who the rest of them are, but they're traveling with those two."
Aha! You must be Bombat. Huh?
"That's me."
A pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
We should really get out of here. Oh, right. Yeah. So, well, to be blunt, you're coming with us. As Kahala Allard looks at him, "You couldn't be any more brash with your, diplomatic tactics, could you, Bombat? Victor, it's a pleasure to see you again.
The pleasure is mine.
We noted that you got another artifact of sorts, yes? If my intel is correct.
I tilt my head and raise an eyebrow. How do you know?
Honey, a sorceress of my esteem knows many things.
That is a funny way of not answering the question. I shrug and I head below decks. I will get my things.
Wonderful. Tantor looks at, "What the hell is going on?"
None of your business, Garchon. We are leaving.
Oh! Well, shit, okay. He goes to his captain's quarters. He's like, "Well, I was gonna wait to get back to the Ruby Dawn to give you all this, but here's the coin for your completion." And if I remember correctly, it was 2,000 gold, correct?
I have no idea.
I have it written somewhere down.
I definitely don't.
I don't remember currently. But he hands you 2,000 gold. And
To be split?
if you so choose, he hands it to you, Victor.
Okay, I will temporarily pocket it for now, just
Okay.
for ease.
Well, this journey gets weirder and weirder. Good luck. As you all go onto the ship. You
Before we do, I pause on the threshold of the copter, and I think a moment, and I turn back and look at Tantor. Could you sail a couple of 100 miles south?
we would be stopping in the Ruby Dawn first, but if you pay us, sure.
Hold on 1 second. Let me check a map a moment.
Don't you have that fancy little bird thing you can fly on, though?
I do. It has a limited range. Map. Hold on.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
You can fly half across my world in a single day, so I think you'll be fine.
He's going to, after consulting a map and doing a rough estimate, he's going to nod. And he's going to turn back to Victor and say, I believe this is where we part ways.
My heels snap together, and I give you a slight bow. It has been a pleasure, and I hold out my hand to shake yours.
My hand comes out and grips his wrist.
Yeah.
Until we meet under starlight.
I nod my head, and I reach around, and I hand you 450 gold.
Fantastic. He is going to open his robe and he is going to hand you 4 scrolls. I found these in the
Whoa.
temple.
Okay. It's just gonna say 4 scrolls, and we'll break that down later.
Yes. He's going to nod until we meet again.
Stay
And
alive.
I will do my best. And to you.
So, do you just take off now, or are you gonna wait?
He's gonna wait for them to get
Okay.
clear, and then he's going to go
To further describe what you're staring at, you are currently staring at a very colorful, dragonfly, shaped ship that is currently flying, and
I'm
has...
thinking like gay rave steampunk. That's what I'm imagining.
That's what I'm imagining. too.
Awesome.
Like imagine like Treasure Planet. except
Yeah.
rave.
I'm actually imagining a mixture of that and the Doom copters.
Doom copters.
Dune.
Looking that up.
I'm
Dune
unfamiliar.
copters.
Yeah.
You know, in
The
the
Dune, the
yeah,
House Atreides.
Ornithopters.
yeah, the House of Atreides ornithopters. But anyway,
Here. Does it not give me an actual picture, you bastard? Okay, whatever. Back to it. As you go on, is that
everybody? No, nothing else.
The Han Bata is going back to his people.
Wonderful. We have one more pickup.
Naza. Who is this?
One of, let's just say,
he looks at Zaza on Great Floors,
one of their old friends.
and
I raise an eyebrow and smile. And I nod.
you guys just take off into the air, and you see Miss Allard move her hand around with some runes, muttering under her breath as you see what seems to be a portal open up in the air, and on the other side, a open, just blue sky, snow coming down, and Fafnir, you see a portal opening up right about 100 yards up, and a dragonfly helicopter, dragonfly ship buzzing towards you as you are walking towards the Ruby Dawn.
Have I received a letter about this?
Yes, from a unnamed source. All you got was a -KL requesting your presence for a meeting.
He's going to look up, and he's going to nod, and he's going to wait for it to touch down.
It does so, and you see a goblin just pop his head up and be like,
Well, it's been too long, Fafnir. How you doing?
You're going to see the smallest hint of a grin. Well met, Bombat.
I see
He's
that
going
you got some fancy new armor on you. Where'd you get that from?
Mind your business and I'll mind mine.
Oh, well, okay then. Anyways, you coming on
Start with
aboard,
good,
or
like
would
old
you like to
times.
walk?
He's already walking to the hatch.
Wonderful.
I fucking missed him.
he looks at Victor and Saul and the new.
Isn't he such a pleasure?
I'm gonna actually make myself rather small in this compartment and just let the man have his space.
Okay.
You're going to see him like shrug off some of the sleet that had been falling, and he's going to take a seat. He's going to glance across and give a nod to Zaza and ignore Grafalo.
Classic.
He's going to turn and look at the others, just scan the room, and then look back at Zaza. Where is Talv?
Hello, Fafnir.
God, I'm gonna destroy my.
Talv.
Wow, I can't do both. He proceeds to tell you that Talv left, and after the whole incident, and basically said y'all are weird and too much for him, so he left.
He's going to nod with a look of somewhat understanding. He's then going to glance back and say, and where is that prancing paladin fool?
Well,
Are you referring to Jin Donborn?
yes, Jin Dawnborn. Well,
Last I knew, that man was in the Ruby Dawn hunting down the creature you know as Nox. I am not looking at you. I'm simply staring like at the wall beyond you.
he also
like soldiers
might
at ease.
be looking for his lady again.
He's going to nod and he's going to turn back to the doctor and he's going to say, we are not yet acquainted. I am Sir Fafnir Ran, knight, and you're going to hear his voice catch, but he's going to push on and say, Knight of Alderlook, of the
Hello.
Suncrest Empire.
Hello, Fafnir Khan, Knight of Alderrook of the Suncrest Empire. I am simply Dr. Victor Hink, at your service. I served proudly with the humans of the Ruby Dawn in the Crimson Watch for many years. Now, I'm a medicine man, bodyguard,
The
spy, many things.
The Crimson Watch is known to me. Tell me, how recent did you lose the arm? There must be a story behind that.
It's his hand, but
Or the hand.
I lost it yesterday.
you
I
hear
was-
off in the distance, Y'all might. Ugh. Excuse me. British, there we go. Y'all might want to hold on now. As you feel the ship basically stretch and just poof, as you feel yourself go whoosh, and you look out the window and the snow has stopped. You see mountains off in the distance, and a nice summer day. As you guys land, you see pretty much directly in front of you this nice little, more or less, hunting lodge with a nice flowing stream. Also, for those watching at home, all these backgrounds I got from James RPG, which he does all these fantastic backgrounds, which I follow him on Patreon. You should do so as well. Not a sponsor. Thanks. Anyways, sorry to interrupt, but
yes, my hand was lopped off by, I believe it was a solar.
You're gonna see him like grimace a second and like rub his collarbone, where you're going to see a very white, large scar that you're gonna guess probably goes down quite far. He's gonna say, I've been there.
Are you wearing your armor right now?
He is, but you know,
I don't think your collarbone would be showing. So can
at the corner of his neck, like, you know.
So
it's sexy armor.
Can you describe your updated appearance, Mr. Fafnir?
So you're going to see before you a warrior with a black,
human?
Yes, human, slightly graying beard, that links into his moustache. You're going to see plates. You're going to see a green overrobe. It's going to be like a dark Caliborn green, the color of the forest. You're going to see below it, you're going to see a silver and black and somewhat golden plated mottled armor that's going to shine just a little bit below the robes, but he's keeping the robes sort of over it and doesn't appear to be majorly commenting on it or showing it off. At his waist, you're going to see what looks like a red, angry looking sword. And he's also going to have... What else does he have?
Oh, that thing's a great sword. It's on your back.
Sorry, he has a great sword on his back. And he's also going to have a small crossbow at his waist. He's going to be fairly heavily armed. As well as a pack on his back. And you're going to tell that this is... somewhat of a warrior. Does that describe one?
Yeah. Yep.
I have a picture.
He's also got his cloak runs into a hood that he has up at this moment.
As you guys are talking, Kalhala, at the doorway. Well, now that introductions are done, I would like to, introduce you to the rest of us. Please follow me.
So
and Victor, as she walks up to you. If I overheard you correctly, you lost your hand yesterday?
I nod.
With what we want from you, that just won't do. As you see her guide her hand up against your arm, as you see runes start shaping on your forearm, and you see a bit of magic burst as you have sudden growth in your hand, painless, and you see as your hand rapidly grows back, and it is now right in front of you.
I'm in
Much
shock.
better, isn't that?
I'm just staring at it.
She just grabs you by the chin and she's like, "You can thank me later when you complete this mission," and just smirks. To describe
Mending bones is a nasty business.
to explain her further, you are staring at a for tiefling, she's probably in the equivalent of the like early 40s range. Beautiful mid-age, horns going back and then curling back up, and a constant fire in her eyes, reddish, red fire in her eyes, reddish orange, there we go. And just slight fangs that protrude barely on her lip, her bottom lip, and her tail. And she turns around. "All right, gents, let's go."
Follow her out.
And you guys make it into this lodge, and it is impressively larger on the inside, almost too large, almost shockingly large. And you see a large meeting hall with a massive wooden round table, several large elegant wooden seats with immaculate carvings, a braziers on the top, and several braziers on the bottom of the floors, keeping it lit and warm. You see that there are several what look like butlers running around and maids, but their legs start fading away and they are just basically torso up as they're doing several different tasks. And you see several individuals in front of you. You see... Ein Moment. There we go. You see in front of you, what seems to be a almost glowing, a very dim glow, but a very, copper tan, elf with very large ears going up, glowing, yellow eyes, and then you see what some of you know to be a warforged, and then you see a very finely dressed copper-looking dragonborn smoking from a pipe in very well-dressed, noble clothing, just laughing and talking amongst his compatriots.
What was the third one? I'm sorry.
The third one?
Yeah. We got the copper skin elf, the warforged.
A copper dragonborn that is dressed in very fine, noble clothing. Like, this is top tier, like, the finest of noble clothing. Like, some rich people would be too poor to buy it. Anyways. That is followed by what seems to be a, very thin, about 5'9", 5'10", very pale elf that is in a lab jacket, that has some type of crest on it, with flowing white hair, dressed in a green suit with green accents. And then you see, sat down pointing at a map on this table with points on it, a young woman, pixie cut, red and silver armor, Victor, you recognize her immediately as Arbiter Valen Voss, the Ruby Dawn's chosen.
Like the champion?
Yeah, the champion of the Red Father, correct, yes.
Oh.
And
I
then...
avert my eyes.
Huh?
I avert my eyes.
And then Kahala Lard following behind you says, Come, sit, please. We wish to get you acquainted.
I silently sit down where I'm directed to, explicitly not even acknowledging the... What would you say her name was?
Valen Voss. Valenenvoss.
Yeah, not even acknowledging Valen Voss, because I don't want her to acknowledge me.
Fafnir is going to take a seat and try to look somewhat considerate as he scans everyone.
Same with Soul.
Zaza goes off to the corner wall and just stands.
Writes in his book.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Gryffindor looks at Kahala Larden.
Do you have any means to make me taller?
She just smirks and she's like, she looks at him. That shouldn't be a problem. As she snaps her finger, and you see the chair suddenly transforms with a bit of a height stool. As you,
He's got a high chair.
yeah, and Gryffindor sits down with his feet just dangling off the edge.
That's our boy.
And the group of people finally recognize that you guys have sat down. And Valen looks up pointedly at you, Victor, and says, "Well, it is nice to see that you have joined us, Victor. And the rest of you, Fafnir, thank you for coming all the way from the Suncrest Empire."
I make eye contact with her, raise my eyebrow, as if to say, really? But I don't actually say anything.
Fafnir is going to nod and say, hold on, that I need to get the name right. What's her name? The Duchess.
Her name?
What's her name?
The Duchess. Ah!
What's her full title?
I have all my NPCs' names memorized like a good DM. Uno momento, por favor.
Suncrest Empire.
Selena Dragonheart.
The Archduchess Dragonheart sends her compliments.
Oh, does she now? Well, it is good to have you on our side. An esteemed hunter of monsters like yourself will be a good ally for us.
I raise my eyebrow and look over at Fafnir, and then look back.
As for the rest of you, we have Zaza the Tormented, which Galhala Alad herself wished for me to request. And then Gryffindor specifically is here, as she looks towards him, for the means of infiltrating the mist. We wish to discover if this incursion upon my people, Targaria, has infected other continents, other city-states, or other countries in general. So, as many of you know, years ago, reports of people going missing and this expanding mist happened. We want to know why it is there and what can be done about it. It has been there for some time. Are any of you aware of the place called Candle Deep? No?
Am I aware of Candle Deep?
Yeah, am I aware?
Do a history check. If anybody
Come on,
was
everyone.
around when Norlin was talking, so
17.
19.
He's still late.
Victor, I don't think you need to because Norlin went in great detail talking about it.
Got it.
That's good enough. You guys know that it is a ancient library that has gone silent. Victor, you specifically know that has been, from what you know.
Oh, I thought it was Candlekeep.
Did I say Candlekeep? Sorry,
No.
can't.
Well, you just now said Candle Deep.
Oh, I always mix up the two because, anyways, Candlekeep. My bad. Yes, Candlekeep. Anyways.
Yes, it was a library. Yes.
Yes. It has been taken over by the mist, according to several of our sources.
Like 2 centuries ago. According to
Several,
Nolan.
we understand. Like I said, the mist has been there for a while. And we don't know when these angelic tyrants first made contact with our plane. We are wary that they might have sent out scouts and opened certain portals long ago. We need a party such as yourselves to investigate, because if it is connected to the Black Legion, we would prefer to squash another insurgency on a continent. Do you understand?
I nod.
Fafnir is going to be stroking his beard, and he's going to turn and look and say, the Knights of Alderac performed a similar reconnaissance operation that I was part of.
And have you heard anything back from your people, or have any useful information, Fafnir?
I say this out of warning. None have been heard from except myself. No way has been found in.
Well, I might have a useful, assistant to that. As you see in the shadows, two glowing pupils step forward, and Vic, if you'd like to describe yourself.
Okay, so Ruth is a 5'6", sorry. Female. She has very pale, slightly purple hue skin. Her eyes should be black. She has quite long, wavy black hair, and she is she's a very beautiful young woman. Seems to be about 21 years old.
Was she? I'm sorry. What is she wearing?
She's wearing a long black dress. It seems to be of pretty good quality, not super noble, but also not what you would find on like a peasant. Very intricate black clothing. She has a cloak on with a hood over her head that's also black, and red accents on both. And then probably just a pair of like black boots.
Henkel sits up and he puts his hand on his scimitar, and I presume it's not humming at all.
Ruth, do you have any ill intent upon these people?
No.
No, it is not humming.
I relax.
This is Ruth. She is a knowledgeable about this place. Her and Greyfalor, because from my understanding and our intel indicates that Greyfalor is somewhat of a citizen of the mists. Them together might be able to help you weave your way through the mist and discover what others have not.
Rafaelo somehow already knew this. He told me earlier today. that he had to go home.
Interesting.
He may already have a way in. And I turn to Grafalor.
Ruth is scanning the group. She's like, not for too long, but she's like intently looking at everyone as if to be calculating.
Do you want a visual description of everyone?
Yes, please.
Did you hear what unit said about Fafnir?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I just know that someone is short.
That's one of the
So-
guys who's not here.
at the table, sitting looking intrigued and paying very close attention to what's being said, is a man wearing a gold, like a gold trimmed, but like a dark metal suit of armor, underneath a green flowing robe and like cloak. He's got a sword on his back. He's got his hood up at the moment, and he's got a black, but there are hints of grey coming through beard to moustache, kind of going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he is paying excessive attention to everything that's being said. You're also how. I'm sorry, Mr. DM. I'm going to steal your fire for a second. How good is your perception?
My perception is very good.
What's your
What
passive
is it?
perception?
Passive.
Because
It's,
Greyfaller's is 22.
So mine is
15, if I remember correctly.
15, and then I get a +5.
Okay,
So
you're
your
gonna
passive
see-
perception's 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry to add a bit more to you, but you're also going to see, like, on the cloak, just visible is a symbol. Oh my gosh, what does the symbol look like? I can't
It
remember.
is a black moon cut in half, with the other half being a sun, a golden sun.
Ooh.
Yes.
Very nice.
That's Fafnir.
Dr. Victor Henkel.
I am a human man. I'm not particularly tall, just about 5'7". I look to be in my late 50s, early 60s. I have unruly, kind of wisping a bit, white hair with a full beard. There's a scar over my left eye, and it's a little bit browned over, but the other one is a piercing, frosty blue.
Ooh, how long is your beard?
It's just a few inches. It's not particularly long. I'm not like
Okay,
Santa.
okay.
But around my neck is a scarlet scarf that goes all the way around, draping over my half-plate armor. It is not particularly fancy in any way, shape, or form. It has dents and scratches all over it, from monsters to blades to being bludgeoned. Like, this guy has been through it. And he does not like live lavishly. There's a cartoonishly large backpack beside him at the table, and he has a scimitar that is on his hip, along with a couple of blades that you can see, like small daggers. They have wooden handles. They're a little bit green. He just looks tired, and he's uncomfortable in the room, and he seems to be scanning the walls for something, which I haven't had the chance to ask you for something, Spencer.
Oh yeah, what's up?
I want to check the room for traps. Anything obvious.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Thanks. You were describing everyone, and I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
13.
Nothing that is
No,
Self-evident.
No anvil tied with a rope, or
no. However, I know it was an investigation, not insight, but I will give all of you insight. You are staring at a group of very powerful people that some of you don't realize quite who they are or what they are. But let's look at what you guys have witnessed so far. You saw Kahala Olard effortlessly grow your hand back. Two, basically jump you into a other area or other somewhere that is not currently winter. So you went from the Ruby Dawn during wintertime to a nice summer in the middle of the mountains. You are staring at what seems to be a very wealthy dragonborn, a warforge that has a monocle and what seems to be he has a chiseled out mustache on his upper lip, a Valen Voss, the not more or less, the de facto leader of the Ruby Dawn in front of you currently, and who am I missing?
Ruth.
Elf.
Yes. If you all want to do a history check on the elf.
Does this
guy
include
related?
me or no?
No, not you, Ruth. Everybody else.
Is this related to the stuff that I've been studying for the past 2 years?
No. Just a general who the hell is this guy specifically?
2.
Okay.
2. Saul, you have no idea who this is.
19.
19? Okay. Anybody else? Fafnir?
Sorry, repeat that for me, please.
History check.
One moment.
Also,
20.
Sewell didn't get a
20.
chance to describe himself.
I know. We're
Yes,
getting
I
there.
would
That
like
is purposeful. We're getting there.
Okay.
This is the less known leader of the Eminence, a mage of very powerful mages. He's a bit of a recluse, but he does occasionally make public appearances. That's what I'll give you.
With a 19.
Yeah. Yep.
This is a powerful dude, and he has shown up sometime.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay.
And then to describe the other two in the building for you, Vic, Greyfalor, a little, about, what is,
He's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, 3'5", goblin, mushrooms growing on his skin, gray, very matted, long hair, kind of greasy looking, has a staff, wearing pants, does not smell good. And then off in the corner is...
He's covered in a cloak, and on the cloak...
Oh, yes, he does.
are
Yes, right.
multiple eyes just all over the cloak. And there is a massive squash on the back.
Yes.
Is a squash with him.
And
how,
then...
how tall
No.
did you say he is? Like
3'5". The squash is
But,
about
like-
as big as he is.
The squash is also, like, ever so slightly matted in, like, dried, molding blood.
Yep.
That's our boy.
And then-
He also smells like an indescribable way, like ripe fruit that has been left with a large piece of meat and left to stew for 100 years.
Yummy. And then a witch doctor-esque humanoid with a feathered cloak and a book that seems to be bound in skin, human skin. Yeah, yummy. Anywho, the only one that I am surprised to see here is this Kakra. Would you like to introduce yourself to me and the rest of my compatriots? Who are you?
Of course. I am Soul. I am a dark red Aerocrocra with feathered Aerocrocra with some light or with some dark gray feathers within my wings. I am average height, so like about 5'5", well built, and just carrying like a satchel or satchel with me with some like pants.
Well built, he
what
says.
what
I
race
looked at
are you? I'm
Kit.
unfamiliar with.
He's a birdman, a roided out
Yeah.
birdman.
He's bird person.
Do you have a beak or do you have a mouth?
I have a beak.
Oh my god, that sounds terrifying. A bird person with like a humanoid mouth? No, that's nightmare.
Hey, some of them have mouths, some of them have beaks.
Oh
so-
no.
If you click on his picture in Alchemy and then just view,
Yeah.
you can see a picture.
He's a roided
That's
out bird.
probably the closest image to it. So.
He lifts daily. Anyways,
You can see Grafelor too.
Oh, very nice.
you see the Warforged being like, we didn't account for him. Well,
He
This
is
is-
perfectly capable, I promise.
I don't know.
Not sure if anyone would notice this, but Ruth is now making like an extremely strained face. She has a straight expression, but her skin tone is maybe like slightly green.
You see
your-
the
like your-
Dragonborn blow in the air. What does it matter? They're here for the mission and we need intel because if these... Well, to be blunt, sorry, pardon my, my Targaryen, but these angel fucks, if they, destroy my homeland and the Ruby Dawn, they might expand to other regions, and who's to say that they haven't already? So,
I knocked twice on the table, like here.
So, I say we send them to this land of the mist, and like you said, we have our wonderful escort and other citizen of the place as he just raises his scaly eyebrow at Greyfalor. I think they will be able to manage. And besides, Fafnir is here. His people are literally known for hunting down vampires. I think they will be fine.
You only see Fafnir like twitch ever so slightly, but like hide his reaction.
Is there something wrong with what I said, Fafnir?
No,
you
not
seem
at all.
uneased by my words.
He's going to sigh and he's going to bring his hand slowly down over his eyes and sit up a bit. Aldaruk is gone.
My eyebrows shoot up.
You see as one Valen is very shocked by this, along with... You hear just a few gasps and like a pause as Valen... Sorry that I'm doing two French accents. I'm gonna try to distribute or, make them distinguishable.
Differentiate them.
Yeah. What do you mean they are gone?
I returned to the fortress after I'd been on deployment and found it burnt in ashes and ruin. The Grand Master murdered in his chamber and all the knights gone.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Thank you, Bombette, for your input. Anyways,
I also found vampire skulls in the ruins.
you're positive about this? The news has not met the ears of the Ruby Dawn's intelligence agency yet?
I'm gonna say quite loudly, the Ruby Dawn has been relatively deaf this past year, no?
Well, to be blunt, Captain, you were a captain, right?
Yeah.
Line has been slowly being pushed back, and ever since the fall of the Ruby Spire and Snow's reluctancy to help us, we have been trying to make ends meet with the ever-increasing probing attacks upon my capital and my other fortifications.
It makes sense.
Returning to the point, he's going to glare around the room a bit. The Suncrest Empire intends to rebuild the Order, but for the moment the Knights of Alderuk are out of the fray. I am all you have.
Is the Duchess willing to help our cause? Do you know?
You would have to ask her, but she gave me orders to go and find a way to defeat the Black Legion if possible. After I reported on what I saw at the destruction of the Horde. I am here by her instruction.
Well, I hope you can make her proud and please us with whatever you find in this mist. I'm assuming that my scaly little friend here will give you all the supplies you need. And you see the Dragonborn nod as he's continually smoking on his pipe. And you see the Warforged look. If you need any upgrades, I gotcha. Just come see me in my shop.
Gratitude.
Indeed.
I'll be finished.
And you saw the bright summer elf look up at you. We don't have any direct means of getting to the mists. I could teleport you there, but there is a risk.
That we are torn apart by vampires?
Well, that is assumption that those are those who live there, but there is no confirmed reports. However, Dr. Thornweaver here has been working on some means of... How did you put it, Doctor? Ah, yes! Well, there's this thing that I've been working on that you basically implant it into your skin, and it's basically a quick get out of jail free card if you have to be, lifted out of a place. So, you basically send us a message and it's a bloop back to here, if that makes sense.
By what means do you manage to make this happen?
It's,
Yeah.
well, my specialty is working in, sewing nature and magic together. And it's just a little under the skin device, if you will. As you see, if a Warforged could roll his eyes, he does, and you just see him walking away.
I've seen the Disney Pixar Robots movie.
That is an option, or you can have the mage do it for you. It's really your choice. I'm not gonna force you to put something under your skin.
Narambatar is going to turn to look at...
Shit, Narambatar's here?
Sorry. Fafnir Run is going to turn to look at Ruth, and he's going to say, "Where should we go in the mist? That surely determines how we get there. What is the best way in from your experience?"
You know that there is a port city where is a single point where the mists weaken. And that is more or less the only... Safe is so not the right word, but safer entrance.
Okay. So I meet his gaze and I say, "We need to go to the port city." Dude, does anyone have a map? Do I have a map?
I do.
He's the map. The map.
Yeah.
The
Can we have
the map.
Are you also a character, Spencer?
What do you mean?
Like, does anyone in the group have a map? Or do I?
You would have like the world map, which the group will gladly give to you. Do you have a map of the area you're going? No, because nobody has gotten out of it in several years.
Oh, okay.
Juries.
You know it's on a southern point. You've been there. Fuck, what is... I will get back to you on the name.
What's the region of where it is?
I've been avoiding trying to say them.
Of Vandar Kas?
So it's on like the southern point of that.
Yes, the most southern point.
It is on the southern point of Vandarkas. Do any of you know this place?
I shake my head.
Can it be approached via sea?
We have speculated on that, and that is one of the options. But as the mage has told you, they could potentially teleport you there if you are willing. Like I said,
Teleportation is better. I do not like the idea of being suffocated in the mist on the boat.
It would not be much better if we materialized in the mist, only to suffocate in it, or materialize in a solid wall or something.
I glance at you with the side of my face and give you a little smirk.
Kalhala Lard looks. By the nine, I have to help. I'll help to make sure that this quick teleportation goes without a hitch. Is that fine with y'all?
Yes, but I am in need of upgrades, as the Warforged was saying.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
We should depart on the morrow. Give ourselves time to rest.
I totally
nod.
agree.
I agree. We shall wait until tomorrow.
Kalhala,
Yes,
we need to talk.
as you wish. I will be right back. I need to use the restroom.
Everybody take 5. Get yourself a drink.
Or roleplay amongst yourselves.
And roleplay amongst
I'll be right back, friends.
Be back at 8:34.
So, when he gets back, we inform him that Narambatar's staked. I should change my name because I keep fucking.
You should.
Yeah.
That Fafnir staked Ruth immediately.
He's what?
The Fafnir staked Ruth immediately. That's what he said.
No one knows.
Yeah, no one knows. We know about Grafalor, though. That's why Fafnir doesn't even acknowledge that he's a person.
I'm surprised no one said anything about Ruth's like skin though, because it.
Oh, that's fucking rude, don't you think?
Well, I don't think Narambatar's paying attention particularly.
Try again.
Change your name unit.
I can't change my nickname on this server. Can you?
Yeah, you can.
Maybe I can.
Yeah.
I was
you
able
should
to.
be able to, yeah. You gotta click and then go to your server profile, and then if you scroll down a little bit, yeah.
I'm just writing down what you have here in Alchemy.
Fafnir 1. But yeah, thank you.
Got you.
But yeah, you have to remember, Fafnir Ran has lost his home. He has lost the people he has known since he was a child, and all the people he's known since he was a child. And yeah, he has spent a good deal of time cremating all their bodies.
I'm imagining sunken eyes.
He is not concentrating probably as much as he should be.
Fafnir was about to stake Ruth, and then he was met with a pair of 34 bees. Stopped in his tracks.
Did you say 34 bees?
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
Anyways, is everybody
So-
here?
Yeah,
Yep.
Fafnir went berserk and killed everyone.
That tracks. Is Blank here?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I heard upgrades.
Yep,
Yes.
I was promised upgrades. I want to upgrade my sword.
So you go to find the Warforge, and you are met by a beautiful, expansive armory and forge. And oddly enough, you see Bombat there tinkering with a bunch of stuff. And you see contraptions that you've never seen before. A bunch of weird.
Is the rodeo there?
The rodeo?
Yeah, the bull riding competition thing. He did it to the pirates.
You see it off in the background with like a tarp over it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. With a giant piece of paper taped to it that says "Save for later."
Mhm.
And you just hear him.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach the Warforged and politely wait to be addressed.
What can I do for you?
I reach down to my hip and I pull out Abertir, and I just present it to him.
A sort of
This-
warning. Very nice.
This was my prized possession when I was with the Crimson Watch, but the magic that made the weapon has not aged very well.
Would you say it's just not cutting it?
I give him a little smirk. Once I could cut through trees with ease with this. Now, it is simply a blade. I ask that you enhance it.
Well, in my line of work, not to gloat, this should be easy. But, are you willing to put some coin down on the table?
I nod. I'm also in need of new armor, and I just sort of like dink onto the shitty half plate I'm wearing. I need mithril for where we're going, and I expect a discount for my labors.
Well, I don't have any mithril on me, but
As he points, you see a giant stack of this dark gray metal.
I do have some adamantine. If you'd like me to make
Would it be quieter?
we're going for quiet.
Yes, that's right.
As you see him yell,
Gree! Gree!
as you see the summer elf walk in. Yes, what can I do for you?
I need some mithril.
You see the mage just put like his hands to his temple. Okay. As you just see him poof, out of existence for a second. And then about 10 to 20 seconds later, poofs back into existence. As you see, like, the fabrics of existence wave real quick. Will this suffice? As you see him lay down a fairly heavy sack of a shiny silver metal.
Yes, that will do just fine. Thank you.
As you see him starting to throw it into the smelter.
Fine, I'll give you a discount, but
As he looks at all of you.
What?
I don't know if we made it clear. You are not to speak of this meeting, you are not to speak of this place. To be even more blunt. If we do find out, and we will, that you have flapped your gums about this place, you will find yourself serving in the armies of the devils in the Blood War. Do I make myself clear? As he looks at each and one of you. That includes you, Ruth.
I I meet his gaze and just nod.
Well, now that we've got that out of the way, yes, this armor shouldn't take me that long.
I will be paying for all of my companions.
All of them?
You're going to see, like, Fafnir all of a sudden look at you with something like intrigue in his eyes.
Confusion, he just doesn't fucking get it.
But also, like, he's going to look utterly fascinated.
Wow, someone putting money down. Shocker. Anyways.
Yes, we get to get back to the jokes.
So, as far as tuning your blade,
I am no smith, but an adamantine overlay could help visit. It's already silvered and
I would
ready to
prefer
point.
you to come back alive.
As he just overlooks it, and you see like monocles come down over his head or over his one eye as he's zooming in and out of it.
250 gold pieces for the sword, and for the armor, I'll do it for an additional 350.
You said 250 and 300.
50. So a total of
That's 600.
600, yep.
500. You need me alive.
Persuasion check.
Okay. A 27.
God damn.
Fine.
As
Okay,
he
I hand him
smirks.
500 gold.
What do the rest of you want?
Mr. Soul,
Fafnir, Ruth, I'm pretty sure you're well off as it is, yes?
I am fine.
Great.
Do you have anything that you-
Fafnir
that would help
is
me?
going to approach and
Blank,
say,
you're
"I would-"
very quiet, by the way.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. Is that better?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Speak again.
Hello?
I think it's the music.
Slightly.
I can't turn on the music. I've been turning it. I don't.
I'm just gonna turn him up.
Yeah, my mic is. I need a new one soon.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay, that's
Okay.
better.
you were going.
No, you can go first.
Okay. Soul's gonna ask if he has any items that help deal damage or increase buff.
Look around, friend. Of course I have things that deal damage. What are you looking for, specifically?
Well, I am a monk, so I fight with my hand. So I need something that would help with that.
I generally deal in more blades and swords and shields and
Explosives, as you hear in the background.
I changed my mind. I want a mask. A half mask that covers my eyes.
Okay. Soul, was it? I would suggest going to Kalhala or Mr. Cree for your, monk item. Now, if you're looking for a javelin or a spear, I got you.
But
Go to them.
You go to them? Okay.
Yeah.
Fafnir, what did you want from this man?
He's going to step forward and say, could I peruse your collection of weapons?
Sure. As he looks at the back of you, that's a interesting sword you got there.
I'm going to flick it out and place it gently on the desk.
Would you be willing to trade?
What do you have to trade it for?
I have several selections.
Do go on.
What are you looking for, friend?
I am in the market for a mace.
I could come up with something. Give me an idea.
I would like to follow my order's doctrines. We surround ourselves in darkness.
Go on.
Something that lets me move through the dark. I would also quite like a shield. I feel that I've been a little exposed lately.
He peruses through and he's like, a shield. I got something that you might find fascinating. As he puts down this what looks to be wooden shield that has a metal square in the center and metal outlining, he places it firmly on the ground and it expands by 15 feet. I got this little trinket that Bombette and I have been working on. It acts as potential cover and a shield at the same time. It can take a decent amount of damage. And once that threshold has been met, it just forms back into a normal, normal shield. Is this something that would interest you?
It would. But before we get to this, show me your finest mace collection.
The mace would have to be something that I would need help enchanting further. It would take me more than just a day, and it would be considerably laborsome and expensive. I'm sure you understand.
How expensive?
Well, if you're wanting something to admit darkness, that includes enchantment plus an item that's able to hit on its own and stay sharp, even furthering the enchantment. We're looking at anywhere between 1,000 gold pieces, maybe more, depending on materials.
I kind of lean into the conversation. 1,000? That is a large price tag. I thought you wanted us alive, which is more important, huh? Would you like us to be alive, or do you want your pockets to be heavier, huh?
Are you not listening to me? It's not that I don't have the ability, it's the amount of time it will take, and from my understanding, you are leaving by the morrow, yes?
I nod.
So, I have the shield available now. And granted, that will help you survive. Now, once you are back from the Land of the Mist, I should have it available, and this will, I am assuming, Fafnir, help you fight these... How did the lizard man put it? Feathered fucks?
Whoa, watch your language. Ruth, looks towards where Soul was last.
Not him.
Fafnir is going to consider a moment. The trouble is, having the shield does not do me much good if I have not a weapon to have in my hand. I would need something to tide me over, something temporary, while you prepare the mace.
Also, Spencer, can I cast Disguise Self? Ruth is gonna cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
But it's so only this is obviously none of the other party members know this, but her eyes are about to change color because she's getting hungry. And they turn red when she gets hungry.
Oh,
So
cool.
she's just gonna make herself look exactly like how they've already seen her. But
Just a note: there are verbal and somatic components, so it would make sense if you're trying to hide it that you would like exit the room temporarily, maybe even quietly.
okay, so until tomorrow, like you guys don't see me.
I mean, possibly it does last for an hour, but I'm just saying that the spell components, these are practiced adventurers that know what magic sounds like. And questions are often asked, even to Zaza.
Okay.
So,
Especially in front of vampire hunters.
true. You have a vampire and a werewolf hunter currently talking shop with this warforged, so...
You're amongst friends. You're fine.
Yeah, because that's worked out great so far.
He looks at you.
Tell you what. You save that sword of yours. Use it on this mission. And I'll drop the price down to 600 plus the sword. When you return. How about that?
600.
I try to
Do
make
not-
contact. I try to
Could
make eye
you-
contact with Fafnir. Like that's a pretty good deal.
Ruth
He's-
sits down in a chair and kind of like hangs her head so that her hood is like hanging down a little. No one can really see the upper part of her face.
Okay.
She's like, ugh, I'm bored.
Sorry.
He's going to consider for a moment.
You do know that you have a quite rare item in your hands right now, Mr. Fafnir.
Could you give him the sword some temporary improvements? As you're going to have it yourself soon anyway.
An investment.
I promise to bring it back in one piece.
Well. Then I wouldn't knock as much off of it because I would be putting labor into it. But. Fine. I'll knock off. I'll request 700 gold plus the sword, and I will sharpen its edge for you.
Done.
Or maybe imbue the magic. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see what we can do.
And so I hand the sword over, and I look at the shield, and I say, I look down at the shield, and I say, I will collect this when I return. How much will this be?
I'll give it to you for 300.
Spencer, did you turn off the alchemy
No.
thing?
No,
No.
it's on.
It
just kicked
times
me
out.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I don't know if I can turn that off. It's kind of annoying, but yeah. Anyways.
He's gonna look at the shield and then say, I will collect this on my return then.
Very good.
I will come for the sword on the morrow.
Soul.
And then before he leaves, he's going to turn back and say, where might I find some potions?
You're gonna want to go talk to Kahala for that.
He nods, gratitude, and walks out.
Soul. Oh.
Yeah, Sewell.
Sorry, Fafnir. I thought you were done.
I was going to ask, does he notice Ruth hiding in a corner somewhere on his way out?
You can do
She's
perception
not
check.
hiding. She's just sitting down. But she does have her head kind of lowered.
She's just lowering her head, her feet almost touching the ground, just,
What?
I have a passive perception of 15. Do I notice anything?
Are you trying to hide your face, Ruth?
Yeah. Well, she's doing it in a very, like, sly way, but like half of her face is kind of hidden, yeah. She like has her head lowered.
Do a stealth check for me.
Alrighty.
The vampire and the vampire hunter, and the game begins again.
Oh my god, 6.
Uh-oh.
No.
You do notice a slight glimmer in her eye. A bit odd.
A
I
familiar
can't see
glimmer?
my eyes. Is he like getting down, crouching and like?
No, it's more I walked past and.
It's passive, and then the stealth check is you making the action of hiding your eyes.
Yeah.
Therefore, while it's not particularly difficult to hide your eyes, maybe it floofed up for a second and he caught a glimpse. Or there was a breeze and he caught a glimpse. It doesn't matter however we say it, but numbers wise, he can notice.
Yep.
Fafnir is gonna stop a moment and turn. And is there a chair near Ruth?
She is sitting at a workbench table, more or less. There are a few chairs spattered throughout, yeah.
And so I'm going to sit down next to her. Or opposite her.
Hello. What is your name again?
Fafnir.
Hello, Fafnir.
Tell me, how do you know the mist so well?
I've been in this area for quite some time. I travel. I am alone in this world. My family, they're very sick. They cannot come with me. So I kind of posted up here because it is one of the safer places.
I have a passive insight of 19. Is she lying to me?
So, Vic, if you're telling the truth, roll a persuasion. If you're lying, roll a deception.
And you don't have to tell us which is which.
What if I said one lie but the rest is true?
Then deception.
Okay.
You are bending the truth.
Okay. Uh, 11.
Okay.
Yeah, she not being forthright with you, bud. There's something.
Yeah, something off.
Intriguing. But it's the mist. How did you get out or get in the first place? Tell me more. It must be a fascinating tale.
She's like,
You
need a
moment?
why this
You
guy
can't-
is so
Sweating bullets.
curious.
You hear
Like-
you hear in the background the Warforged perk up. Fafnir,
Well, to be
are
honest,
you?
I don't really know. Like, I don't even really know how
You
we got
were
here. Spencer just kind of
request-
told me that she was here.
You were requested, or as I told you, voluntold by this group that
Yeah, I don't
basically
know. What is that?
they voluntold.
Yeah.
You were quote unquote volunteered, but told to come here. And you were handed a sack of gold and said that you were to escort this party.
How did I get through the mist?
The silence is not reassuring.
Yeah, I know, right?
If you have to DM me, you can.
Yes, we will talk about that.
If you guys need a second, then maybe we could
Yeah, we can
pause
do-
that
Yeah,
and then cut to Sewell getting what
Yes.
Sewell asked for like 30 minutes ago.
yeah, sorry.
Sewell,
Yes.
you go find Kahala Alard.
Okay.
I follow Sewell. I am paying for Sewell.
Sounds good.
You pass a doorway that has a ton of runes on the bottom of it. The archway has a ton of runes over it, glowing in a dim blue light. And you are in a large, open, twirling tower that goes up. There is books flying back and forth. A massive, just spiraling staircase as books just go up. And you see off to your right a herbology center. Off to your left, you see what seems to be a place to rune crafting. And straight ahead of you seems to be Kahala Lard's very well organized study where there seems to be papers neatly displayed, books piled in size and consecutive order, and several floating assistants going back and forth doing other tasks. And Kahala is just overlooking her books right now.
All right. I approach her and say, "Hello. I was told to come see you for an item that would help me with my class of a monk."
Oh, you want some? You want something more refined than the baubles and blades of that automatron?
Yes, I'm looking more for like maybe a belt, perhaps, or a ring.
A ring? What about something like wraps or something that goes around your hands? Since I'm assuming you do some hand-to-hand combat, yes?
Yes, I do plenty of that. So wraps would also be very nice.
Well, I do have these as she pulls out what seems to be pages covered in some archaic writing just going down and some red tethered twine. I do have these arm wraps that I've been experimenting with that are made out of spell scrolls. They more or less have, from my tests, a chance to hit with a certain spell. Would you be interested in something like this? I'd like to, I call them spell wraps.
What sort of spells?
Well, I've imbued them with Firebolt, Ray of Frost, or Shocking Grasp.
Interesting. Sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll take that. Sounds like a fun wrap to test out.
And
'cause
Chill
you said
Touch.
this
Sorry,
data.
I had a fucking aneurysm.
Oh.
So, I have imbued them, with, too many accent guys, they're crossing over.
Oh, good.
With, British, there we go. All British at that.
Remember, they ate the tea.
The tea. Anyway.
I hate you all.
Sorry, American British. This is the best I got for you.
Transatlantic. Transatlantic.
4 spells imbued in them, and basically to tell you what it does, these arm wraps. This is from Griffin Saddlebag, also not sponsored. The arm wraps are made from cuts of stripes of spell scrolls. The scrolls, you have basically 25% chance to hit with those spells. While wearing these wraps, you can cast the spell on the scroll while wearing the wraps, you can cast the spell on the scroll in place of one of your unarmed strikes from the Fury of Blows features. When you do, I'll send this to you, by the way.
Yep.
When you do, Wisdom is your spell casting ability for your scroll, and you are proficient with the attack. The spell is cast at your character's level. You can cast this property of the wraps once on each of your turns. Cool.
Okay.
I'll send him to you. But yeah.
Sounds good.
Is that something that would interest you?
That would interest me.
Kalhala, how much?
Well, to be honest, I am a learned academic, and I care not much for coin, but I do have to keep an income of supplies. So, as this is more or less a rare item that I'm about to hand you, one, I will ask you to give me a field report on how they act and how they fare with you. That is my request. And then for the supplies, 400 gold. Making spell scrolls is an expensive endeavor, unfortunately, but that is, from my understanding, well uncutting the market value.
There's a moment of hesitation as I regard her, and then I pull 400 gold out and I pay her.
Sorry that it's so expensive, but as I said, I'm not trying to bleed you dry.
It is okay.
Is there anything else that you wish to have?
We need to have some words, Kahala.
Right, as she looks towards the monk.
I said that is all for me. I will definitely use them in the field and give you a full report, and then I walk away.
Her eyes spark up. I look forward to your report. Thank you, sir. Well, Dr. Henkel, what can I do for you?
I reach into my bag and I pull out the larger star. It's covered in like rags.
You look at her demeanor drop, and you just hear shit.
You asked me to find the ones that Nox had, but this does not match the dimensions that you told me. Additionally, I found this in an underground ruin where
Have
a
you
Black Legion
found
angel was.
Nox's presence?
No.
Even more interesting. I was surprised to see he wasn't with them. Actually, to be blunt, I'm not surprised.
Last I was aware, he was at the broken coast.
We've been tracking your party for some time. Bombat nabbed a feather from Zaza's cloak, to be candid with you.
Interesting. But you told me to retrieve the star. Did not find it. But here's this. I'm still holding it out to her.
You are holding a star. It is bigger than I expected. Are you aware of the other fragment that I sent them to get?
I raise an eyebrow.
You are referring to the ones that Nox allegedly has.
Correct.
Yes. I have not had the chance to talk to Fafnir about it. It has all been business so far.
We should do that now. Can you go get Fafnir, please?
I snap my heels together and nod as I leave, and I want to know what's happening with the two of you.
Fafnir! Ruth!
Wait, Spencer.
What's up?
At least tell me like how I physically traveled here so that I could answer him. Was it on boat? Was it on foot?
Teleportation.
How was I protected from the mist?
You
Well, you don't need to breathe. That
got
helps.
lost in the mist, much like your.
I don't even know how the mist damages you. Is that
It
reading
basically
in?
sucks your vitality out and causes you to go in levels of exhaustion. And basically, if you stand in it for too long, this is above table meta knowledge, by the way. Stand into it for basically, is it each round, Nick, that you basically get a point of exhaustion? And if you get 6 points
I'd
of
have to read
exhaustion,
again, but
fun
yeah.
fact, you die. So basically, one level of exhaustion, basically everything is at disadvantage. Level 2, I believe your movement speed is halved.
Okay, slow down, TED Talk.
Anyways, sorry.
There's 6 levels. There's 6 levels of exhaustion. Each one gets worse. At 6, you die. And I'm pretty sure the save DC is like 20 or 25. It's like mega bad news. Like,
Yeah.
cosmically mega bad news.
Gotcha. So I could literally just travel through it and have no issues.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, if there was a dark power that wanted you to travel through, that could get you through.
And
But
speaking
that is
on that
not for
note,
me to know.
the last thing you remember is being sent by the courts, which I will explain to you this when there's less ears around.
Okay.
The courts that basically whisked you out of the domain and into the land of the normies.
Mm-hmm.
The land of the cattle.
Yeah. And your presence was detected unbeknownst to you, and you were swiftly requested by
Voluntold.
Kahala Lard and her people to meet them. And they picked you up, and you find yourself here now.
Okay.
Does Ruth know what Fafnir is?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Is your symbol? Is that the symbol of a vampire hunter?
It's the symbol.
Do a history check.
Yeah, do a check.
Okay. I mean, I was just asking, like, is that what the symbol is?
Do a history check.
Ruth doesn't.
Do a history check.
For myself? As the...
No. Yes,
As
have
the
Ruth
player?
do a history check on Fafnir's symbol. Yes.
Vic is asking.
This is the game, Vic.
No, me, not Ruth. I'm asking. Is that what the symbol is? Like,
I'm not gonna tell you.
okay.
I try to keep as little meta on the table as possible because I don't like metagamers.
Oh, you don't like metagamers? Okay, that makes sense.
No, it's cheating in D&D, which is just cringy.
23.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes! You know exactly! May I give the explanation, Nomad?
Go for it.
Okay,
Give as much
That's-
information as you think a 23 deserves. I'm interested to see how this goes.
that symbol is for a knight of an order of vampire hunters in Suncrest in the northern continent. They are known for rapaciously going after any vampire in their territory. They are known for disrupting any rituals vampires try. They are known for slaughtering vampires with absolutely no regard for whether they're children or not.
Okay. Very
They
good.
are-
What does it look like again? I know it has half of it is a sun, and the other half is...
And on that point, you also know them by another name colloquially as the Midnight Suns.
Yes. You know they've been operating for about 120 years at this point, and that
Okay.
several elder vampires have fallen afoul of them.
Yep.
Ruth might sort of like these guys in a weird way, but
So she's a masochist. Got it.
she just doesn't
necessarily.
like a lot of other vampires.
What's the greatest threat to a vampire?
Other
Another
vampires.
Other vampires.
Especially ones that have different views than them.
But yes, that is what Fafnir is.
And you said the other half, it's like a a moon and a sun? Like
Yeah,
half of it's
so
sun,
imagine like the full like I'm trying to think of what culture it is, but like golden flames in like a decorative like mirroring itself style of half of it being the sun with the flames going all around, and then on the right side I'm gonna draw it out, but a dark black moon.
You
Cool,
might
cool.
have also been told essentially that their ethos is that they worship a sun god, and that they believe themselves to be the watchers in the night. They are the guardians while their god cannot see.
Interesting. Alrighty. So so Ruth definitely
Men of the
knows.
North!
Burn them all down.
But you were present. You were present when Fafnir just said his entire order got decimated by vampires.
And he's one of the last ones left.
Mm-hmm. Are we back at the dialogue?
Yeah.
Now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. To be honest, I don't remember. I was standing in a room in front of a very powerful person. I believe
Persons.
a judge. Persons. And all of a sudden, I am asleep for an undetermined amount of time, and I wake up in this beautiful room. It is just down the hall, and here I am in this building.
I want to do an insight check on this.
With your passive, she's more or less telling the truth.
I see. So someone sent you through.
I do not know. I assume so, but like I said, I was defending myself to these persons, and then all of a sudden, sleep.
He's going to look intrigued, but also a little baffled. If you do
Trust
not
me,
know,
I was baffled too.
if you do not know how you came to be here, how can you help us get into the mist?
I am very skilled in these ways, you could say. Look at me, I'm 21 years old. You do not think I would learn some things by now.
Oof.
He's going to shake his head and stand up and say, and then look back at you and say, "We will talk more later." And walk
I
off.
look forward to it. Ruth like lets out like a rip. She's like,
Sweat
She goes to
bullets.
she goes to her room and has a fucking panic attack.
He knows.
she's like, God, no.
Does
Do I
anybody
find
else?
Fafnir, or
Yeah.
Oh yes, I was going to go and buy potions. That's what I was doing.
Yes, you were.
I run into you in the hallway. Fafnir.
Doctor.
I nod my head and hold up one of my hands, bending two of my fingers, like the way that I came from down the hall. We must speak quickly.
As you guys are talking, you hear a quick gasp, and you hear some magical blasts in the center room, and does anybody go to investigate? You all hear this.
Yes.
By the way.
Sure.
Yeah,
we like
As
Ruth will walk
you,
Is my blade glowing?
yeah, it be humming hard.
Okay, I draw my blade.
I flick out my warhammer that I still have.
So you see the summer elf making the peace sign as you see a shimmering blue. As you see Greyfalor currently clawing at a energy bubble around him, biting at it, wanting to get out, and his eyes are just pure black right now.
What in the world?
Raffaello, look at me.
Do I get
Uh,
any sort of response?
nope. He just starts gnawing at you.
He's gone rabbit again.
Again, he always was, and you're gonna see him bringing his warhammer up.
If you bring that down on the magical barrier, it will do nothing. Probably.
I am aware.
You see the summer elf. We were well aware of this goblin's condition when we recruited him or put him on the table.
Should I try to stun him?
It might work, but Kahala, can you try to calm him?
He needs fresh meat. That is how this creature eats.
Right. As you see Kahala clap, and you see a servant bring down just a solid raw pork leg, massive. It sets it down. It holds it right in front of Grieflor. The elf is like, "All right, I'm going to drop my barrier. Everybody, back up."
As soon as the pork came out, Ruth turned swiftly away, so that her back is facing everyone. She quickly turned around.
Fafnir is going to position himself where he's between the summoner and Greyflor and get ready to swing the warhammer if Greyflor comes at her.
Okay. The elf drops the barrier, and Greyflor just lunges at the servant and passes through it and lands on the leg, and you just see him start just demolishing it, just gorging himself, just handfuls of just shredded meat just into his mouth as the blood just drenches down his face.
Is the glow on my blade calming?
Slowly.
Excuse me, I must go to my room. And Ruth almost jogs away. She walks swiftly down the hall.
Soccer
I
mom
turn
walk.
to Victor and say, "Goblins," and I walk from the room.
Crinkle my nose at the statement.
Greyflor comes to, and he looks down at his hands, and he's like,
"Oh no. Greyflor is sorry."
I get down on one knee and I rest a hand on his shoulder. It's good to have you back.
Yeah.
I stand back up. Fafnir, we have business.
Quiet.
Okay, I'm gonna lead him to Kalhala's study.
Okay, so you guys go back to Kahala as Kahala goes back to your studies as everything calms down. Right. Fafnir and Victor.
Fafnir, I have some things to tell you.
Please take the lead, Doctor.
I have been following your trail for about 2 years now. Yours, most particularly, Nox. And I believe that your life is in danger. Nox has
gone missing.
Nox has gone missing. The last known place he was about a year ago in the Balkan coast. The Balkan coast.
Oh.
I heard. Yes.
That is an update for me. Fascinating.
Yes. A member of the Trade of Blades that was at Titan Island told me.
Interesting.
He was there with. He was there. Really?
Yes.
No, I do not believe you were.
You were with him at Vala.
No, I'm thinking about the Rat King in the sewer.
Oh.
Yes, you are. Yeah, that this is long after.
Oh. Sorry.
About a year after, I think.
More or less.
But that was his last known location. However, more importantly, Kalhala believes that he has an artifact of great power. And I look at her, expecting her to continue for me.
She mage hands, presenting this very large. shard of what looks like prismatic black glass that has an array of what you can only describe as faraway stars shimmering inside of it. Are you familiar with something such as this?
He is going to go to the nearest desk and sit down, and he's going to reach into his cloak and place a little piece of wrapped cloth on the table.
As you pull it out of your pocket, it doesn't even get fully up before you see it just shred through and float slightly above the other shard for a hot second, and then just sharply and aggressively attach itself to the other piece as you see it prolong itself and slightly thin and is now one solid piece.
Is my blade glowing?
Yeah.
Kalhala?
Fascinating.
Nox,
Why do you have it?
Why do you have it, Fafnir?
I'm going to gesture them to sit down.
I do. I find a
She
stool.
continues standing.
I met Nox,
We are
with
aware of
a
this.
crew of pirates who freed him from a dwarf ship. I met Bombat at the time. And we traveled for a while, and Nox showed me that. I concluded it was a terribly dangerous artifact, and decided it would be best held by my order. I traveled with Nox, and Nox at one point asked... We discovered a portal in the bottom
Excuse me?
of a mine in Valhalla.
What do you mean, portal?
An ancient's portal.
Can you describe it for me?
I describe it.
I pull out an account from one of the guards who secured the area from my bag, and I hand it to Kalhala Allard. I hand it to her.
Oh. So if I'm reading this correctly, and by your description, you have discovered another gate.
Correct.
You are aware that this is big news, correct?
More to the point, it was a gate to the Hells.
Even more problematic.
We left the gate where it was.
Is the gate closed?
Yes.
Well, that's good
Allow me
news.
to finish. We traveled a bit further and a bit longer. We helped the horde evacuate, and afterwards, Nox wished to go to the gate and step through into the Hells, and that is the last I saw of him. He used that, and I pointed my piece of it, to open the portal. I
Open?
used to open the portal.
I crinkle my eyebrows together and I look at Kalhala.
Her eyes just narrow.
This should not be possible.
You're right.
And
It
yet
shouldn't.
he did. And yet he did. I watched it happen with my own eyes.
I'm gonna insight check Fafnir. -1. Let's go. 16.
Are you telling the truth, Fafnir?
Yes.
So I look at you with that critical grandpa look, and then I look at Kalhala, softening my gaze. I believe him.
Very well. This raises more questions than answers.
After he stepped through, I removed the item and closed the portal.
That explains why our tracking went dark for several months.
I then
Yes.
went home
But
and
now
discovered the fortress.
the question for me is, how did he get from stepping through a portal to the hills? and then land hundreds of miles to the south in the Balkan coast.
Victor, that will be your, side assignment. Your directive for the Nox is still to track him down and find him. Now,
I
we
I
are...
turn to
Ben-
Fafnir. Nearly 20 adventurers have gone missing in his orbit. Jean Donborn being the most recent.
And on that point, if Jin Dawnborn is still alive, I wish you to bring him into this little circle. I think his insight and knowledge would be quite useful.
You're going to see Fafnir look back at both of them and say, "Have either of you met Nox?"
I shake my head.
I have... Yes, I have.
Hmm?
I sent them on a mission and they promptly disappeared.
Yes, shortly after that dispatch, the population of Grung and the population of Bullywugs was wiped from the northern force of the Elven plutocracy. They are all dead.
He seems to be a very potent, destructive force.
Nox told me a little of himself. I believe I bear the man no ill will, whatever of a man is left of him. Nox was attempting to find other Simic hybrids like him. We found one.
My eyebrows
told-
shoot up.
Did you just say Simic hybrid?
Yes. Did you not know?
I knew he was a man with affliction, but not a...
He is a living weapon.
Excuse
Is that-
me for one moment.
That would explain the
She
mutations.
walks out of the room real quickly and comes back with the average height, slender man in a lab coat, elf in a lab coat.
Mr. Thornweaver.
Gahala Lard Tails. Wow! Woo!
Try again.
Sorry. Scottish, there we go. Kahala, Lord tells me that you, if my not mistaken, have the know about of a Simic hybrid.
We do.
And you were working with this Simic hybrid, Fafnir?
I worked with two of them.
Two? I'm sorry. You have two enemies. Well, the dwarfs would think property, but creatures of fiction according to them, and living weapons that are from a bygone age, about 200 years ago.
It is more than that. We found that Simic hybrid in a cell in Vala, and he told Nox who Nox is.
And
He
who
said-
would Nox be?
I sit up in my stool.
The man who created them.
What do you
Nox told
mean,
me
the
he-
man who created them?
What I say.
Do you have a name?
Afraid not. He did not give one. He just knew him as the Doctor.
Oh, you were told.
What? Oh, was I told a name? What was it?
Dr.
Uh,
Taryn Kane.
He was given the name Dr. Terran Kane, although Nox remembers none of it.
You see as Thornweaver darts quickly over to Kahala Lard, and his eyes are white, and if he could get paler, he would. So
What
yeah,
is his name?
this name is an understudy of mine, and a man that went and served the dwarfs during the war. And
The war shattered magic.
Correct, that war, the one with the dwarfs. I had a specialized group a long time ago, about the same time, investigate what we would later know as the Nox Initiative. And they came up with very troublesome findings. And the fact that the creator, according to you, Fafnir, is still alive, and is this monstrosity, is one, worrisome, and two, some of the biggest news I've heard in over a century.
That would explain the systematic elimination of witnesses, no?
Yes. You do
I'm
understand you are talking about the creator of living weapons. Not a knife, not a javelin hills, not one of those fancy hand cannons the dwarves have, but a biological, aggressive weapon. And the fact that there's two of them is even more troublesome.
I had the opportunity to inspect one up close.
And what can you tell me?
I have never seen the like. Not in all the books of Alderuk does it ever express such a creature. Built perfectly. A killer in the dark. A weapon beyond measure. And from what I could tell of observing Nox over time, he was growing, developing. I saw him sprout wings and more claws from his hands over time.
I'll have to talk to one of the heads of Elven Intelligence. I've talked to him in the past and worked with him, but...
Henkel is rifling through his papers at this time, and he pulls out one slip of paper and he hands it over to Fafnir. And it's a description of Nox with a guard in Vala he had allegedly produced tentacles from his shoulders and slammed the guard into the wall over and over, killing him before disappearing. That's what the paper says.
You're going to see
Tentacles?
him sit back and think. When was this report dated?
Around the time that you said that you found the portal.
We did not kill any of the guards in that city.
No? And I'll take the paper back from you.
I was there, I was with him the whole time. We worked with the authorities and conducted an investigation.
Fafnir, if
Blood
you...
cult.
Not to interrupt, but Victor, Fafnir, the rest of you. I know you already have enough on your plate, but if you could get Nox back here alive, so I could have a chat with him, it would be illuminating. And you see Kahala also nod.
I will warn
go ahead.
you, he remembers naught of his past. From what he told me, his earliest memories are of with an orc tribe.
That's fascinating.
Of the Horde.
We do have ways to delve into even the most broken of minds.
I will be honest though, we developed an understanding between us.
Well, the fact that you're standing in front of me now means he isn't as, bloodthirsty as I would think, considering the reports of Thornweaver, of Dr. Kane's death or / disappearance. It was never confirmed, even beyond my contacts' reports.
Other hybrid was also not a monster. And I speak
So
from
they
some
have
experience on the matter.
a mind, is what you're saying.
An intelligence, a keen one.
That
not
is
the case.
one both terrifying and relieving at the same time.
No evidence to support the idea of systematic killings.
No,
Interesting that Fafnir is not aware of this murder in Vala. No?
No. It did not happen. I did not see a single. We did not kill a guard. I know. I was speaking to the Valor officials. They would not have given us the access that we requested had we killed one of their guards.
Henkel nods thoughtfully as he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a dwarven pen, and makes a little note on the piece of paper.
Regardless, bring him back.
I will see if I can find him. I also do not believe that he killed Jen Dawnborn.
No?
I had my issues with
Jen is
Knights of the
Kahala's and Voss's prerogative. They want him here to help you lot. To be honest, I'm here to make sure that this mission aids the continent of Almera and the elves.
Dr. Thornweaver, you seem to have a personal history with this Dr. Kane.
Victor, I used to not be able to talk about this, but now that, well, we were always a little bit public, but we've become more public. Are you aware of the group called Genesis?
I'll make a history check.
Fafnir is going to nod.
8.
He has been told about Genesis before.
Genesis is a group of individuals, sorcerers, and we have druidic consultants, but I'm not going to get to the thick of it. More to the point, our main goal is to weave nature along with academia and arcane and make a...
You splice life with life. Is that what you're saying?
Symbiotically, if you will.
So what does this have to do with a Terran Kane?
Darren Kane, when he went to the dwarfs during the height of the war, and I was getting regular reports from him before he went silent, they, from my understanding, were doing a more forced version of this, well, in my opinion, cruel and reckless means of fusing and experimenting with individuals. And then there's whispers of other findings, which I'm not going to get to in the point.
Henkel is just making, rapid notes. It's barely legible.
More or less, what was birthed out of his program was what you met. And a very cruel program, I'll say. And it is Genesis' directive to make sure the likes of that never happens again. Does that make sense? And furthermore, it is a Genesis directive to make sure that this land goes back to what it once was. Are you familiar with the Great Collapse?
Yes.
Over 10,000 years ago. From what we can piece together, the landmass was shattered and anomalies started. And if you know anything about the surrounding area, there's a certain point rather, where you can no longer go and there is a giant barrier. We've been trying to find weak points in it, but more or less we're trapped in a giant dome. That is news to many and it is known by few. So, as you said, what does this have to do with anything?
What does this have to do with
The
Dr. Kane?
Dr. Kane? I wish
That
to
was my
get
initial
him
question.
back because a man of his talents might be able to help this land heal itself. So, in other words, I want him back alive. If you could.
I turn to Fafnir.
Did he seem cunning intelligent, scientific.
The Dr. Kane I knew was.
You guys see Fafnir consider a second and say he was intelligent, but not academically so. He was cunning in the way of self-interest, but I think the knowledge is just gone from him. You may be able to restore him, but the Nox I knew? No. I doubt he'd be able to help you in his current state. Unless you wanted to kill a lot of things very quickly.
Hanko kind of laughs a little bit, breaking the tension. That is good to know.
There's
But
a bunch of
he
feathered.
is reasonable and can be reasoned with. You offer him enough gold or something like that, and he will probably agree. He may not be too happy with me. He did not ask me to keep the portal open, and I wasn't going to leave a portal to hell open that close to the Suncrest Empire. So he may have issues with me at the moment, but to be honest, Nox was a man I could deal with. A man I could reason with.
Well, that's a relief for us. Thank you, for at least relieving me of that, worry. Kahala mentioned.
Are we finished here?
I believe so.
This has been quite illuminating. And I turn to Fafnir and the rest of them. Thank you. As I stuff the papers back into my comedically large backpack.
If you could dismiss me at Earth, you could leave me in Thornweaver. We have a lot to discuss.
Certainly.
I nod, pick up the bag, sling it on my back, and head to wherever my quarters are.
So,
Fafnir rises and looks at the object, and he's going to turn back to them. I had intended to sequester it in the vaults of Alderok, but that is no longer viable. I will leave it in your charge.
it wasn't even a question. We will keep it here. This is the safest place for it.
I concur. And he turns and looks.
Good luck on your mission in the morning. Me and Kree will make sure that you get to your destination. See you in the morning.
Gratitude. As we're walking down the corridor, I turn to Hank. Oh, say, Doctor, who else have gone missing?
I hand him a list of 19 names. On that list, I honestly I can't produce it right now, but essentially Nox was used at multiple tables, and that is how many players Nox played with before he landed at your table.
Yeah, I guessed that. I was more
Yeah.
wondering like what names I recognize and know what happened to.
For the most part, the first set of names, it's mostly elves. There's a furbolg in there. And then a spattering of humans, a half-orc, a dwarf, another dwarf. And it does seem to be mostly elven names or human-ish names.
Your eyes do go to the final name of a reported Strix.
What does it say?
Strix. Race classification Owlin.
He's going to look back.
Uh, Cause of death for most of them is unknown, but on that particular name, crushing / strangulation.
I gotta take a call real quick. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
He's going to look back up at Dr. Victor Hegel and say, I knew her. She was kind. And Nox said he would protect her. he was impressed by her. I can't believe he would have killed her. Something else did.
That death was reported in the Balkan coast shortly before the Mad Margaret left port and has not been seen since. Or reported, more like.
I cannot believe it was Nox. But I will find the truth, and I hand you back the scroll.
I take it.
And don't count out Jin Dawnborn. He may be a self-righteous, and you're going to see him like struggle for words for a second, individual. But he was tough and he was capable.
Yes. I am vaguely aware of that individual's capabilities. He seems difficult to kill. I smirk, reassuring, and then my smirk falls from my face as I say, we have had no word of where he has been since he left for the Ruby Dawn. He landed in port and has since disappeared.
He will turn up. I glance back to the doctor. I say, I have questions about this mission tomorrow. I spoke with Ruth, and I thought
As we are almost to our chambers.
I thought I saw a glimmer in her eyes.
What sort of glimmer?
It looked
Red.
red. I can't be certain I saw it. It was a fleeting glance, but
I furrow my brows together. Vaelencia's eyes turn red when he is hungry. Black.
They
Who's
don't turn red. His pupils just go massively wide.
Okay. Well, Vaelor, his pupils go massively wide. Then, when he completely loses himself, his eyes go black. That is pretty much all of my experience with the almost undead.
what?
Vaelor? Surely you are aware of his affliction.
You're going to see him stiffen somewhat.
It is plain as day. His pulse does not go. He does not breathe. He smells terrible. If he could breathe, he would be coughing.
He is a goblin. They are used to such things. You can't be serious.
I stick out a hip and I tilt my head at him, disappointed grandpa style. Goblins know what muck smells like. That is why they roll it. This one does not roll. Rolls. The mushrooms are not normal to the goblin kind, so far as I am. And the teeth, sharper, longer. His tongue, longer, more barbed than a regular goblin.
Also,
Believe me,
goblins
I've cut open plenty.
don't normally eat raw flesh.
Now, most of my expertise is with lycanthropy and normal benign wounds, not the undead. However, my observations have led me to the conclusion that Vaelor is deeply unwell.
Cursed, you mean?
I nod. And he is
You're
under my
going to
protection.
You're going to see Fafnir looking somewhat irritated at this. And he's going to say, I see.
So tell me about Ruth. What is it about this red glint in her eye?
Just for a moment, looked like her eyes were glowing red. I'm suspicious. I mean, you believe her undead?
I nod, looking down, thinking for a second. I place a consoling hand on your stiff shoulder, and I pull out my scimitar ever so slightly. This is Avatir. It glows red whenever we are in danger. I have felt no such ill will towards us from her so far.
My concern is also that her story. I asked her about the mists. She does not know how she got to be here, or so she claimed. I am worried we are walking into a trap.
I smile and look at him dead in his eyes. We most definitely are. So let's be ready.
You're going to see him rub his brow a bit. I have nothing definitive to go on. But if she poses a threat to us, I will eliminate her. 'Tis my duty, 'tis my curse, 'tis my pact, my life.
I understand.
Quoting his creed.
But you must remember my creed. I do no harm. I protect. And parlaying is always the most fun. So
Not with monsters of the night. But we
I don't
will
know.
see where this leads.
I've known one or two monsters to drop a couple witty one-liners before I cut off their head.
Can Ruth hear this, Spencer?
We're in the dormitory hallway. I'm totally fine with you overhearing the whole thing, personally.
She would.
I was gonna say, because vampires have, like, heightened hearing probably, right?
No.
Oh.
They're in a
Read
bit.
your stat block.
Welcome back. Henkel and Fafnir are chatting in the hallway if you want to come hang out.
Okay.
Vic, you get so many things. This is an experiment. Anyways, if you want to actively listen on, you can do a perception check if you wish.
Okay. I'll do that.
Has the dice been actively rolling? Okay, it has been. Cool.
Mine's been good.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Yeah,
good.
They're not really hiding it, so yeah, you hear them talking.
She's like standing behind the door. When she hears that thing about being eliminated, her eyes like widen a little bit. She's not that surprised though, considering she knows what he is and who he is.
Yeah.
But I believe that we should address that problem as it arrives. And if she is a part of the trap, well then, possibly have some leverage. Her and Raffaello, if they truly are assets to these dark masters of the mist, then perhaps then we can.
You're going
Use
to
them.
see Fafnir looks incredibly torn on this. He is dealing with common sense fighting his training, his indoctrination, his creed, his ethos.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I have nothing definitive. I will
And
wait.
neither do I, except for my gut. And my gut says I'm going to lose another part of myself in the mess. And this is okay.
You're going to see him sigh a bit and go, I hope to find a part of myself in this. My brothers must be out there somewhere. There were 100 sent out to find a way. One of them must be out there.
My face goes compassionate as my eyebrows knit upwards. If they are there, they will not be themselves. You know this, yes?
He nods. Well, I will turn in for the night. I will see you in the morning.
As you say that, you feel the ground shake a little bit as you hear a big blast and you hear off in the distance.
What
We hear what?
You hear a massive boom and you hear off in the distance.
Is that Bombat?
Yeah, that's Bombat.
That matches my reports.
Goblins, and he turns and slams his door.
I'm gonna go look for Sewell.
Okay. Where are you,
Where you
Sewell?
at?
Where would I be? I'd probably just be wandering around.
So
So,
just wandering around.
yeah, trying to figure out how to put those scroll things on.
So you wrap them
Mhm.
around your fists, and after about spending an hour, you can also like you almost feel like the magic energy flowing through you.
Okay. You still have to send me like the
I
description.
will after the
Sounds
session.
Uh, Fafnir is then going to come out of his room and go and buy the potions he was supposed to do in the first place, but keeps
Right.
getting distracted.
For the sake of brevity, what do you want, Fafnir?
uh, what is there? I'm thinking like health
Well,
potions
as a
and stuff.
vampire hunter, there's since you're possibly
Holy
going,
water.
yeah, holy water.
I don't know what holy water does in D&D. Tell me.
It be
Um,
hurting
holy
evil
water.
things.
yeah, it like splashes on things and does radiant damage to evil things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Evil things or undead things?
Undead fiends.
Dead
Where's-
fiends.
What if someone is undead but they aren't evil?
It still be
Uh,
burning.
It'd still be burning. And
Okay.
technically, if you are a Dampier, you're not undead, but I don't know what Spencer did to you, so.
I think that's what I am, right? Or I'm undead, right, Spencer?
I will. Okay.
Since
what
we're
else
talking
is there?
about this, yes, you are technically classified as an undead.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you're a fiend or undead.
What else is there, Nomad?
There's health potions galore, but you know that the higher the health portion, the much more difficult they are to make and more expensive they are.
Okay.
So you go talk to Kahala.
Yes.
She tells you that a regular health potion is going to cost you 50 gold. The heightened one is going to cost you 250. And the greater and then the ultimate. The greater is basically 1200 and then the ultimate's like 2500 to 3000 gold.
I will take 2 of the normal ones.
The lesser or the regular?
What's the regular?
The
And how much does
regular's
that do?
anywhere. Let's just go 200 for the regular.
200 gold for the. Oh, sorry, the lesser. How much?
Those are 50
health
gold
does
a pop.
The lesser recover.
I don't remember right now, but
It's like 2d4 plus 2 or
2d4.
something.
Price that's expensive.
oh,
Remind me again what platinum transfers into. Is it
10
tens?
gold pieces.
Right. I will take 2 lessers then.
Okay. You can add those. You should be able to add those into your categories. Those should be on D&D Beyond. Anything else? Holy water?
Yes. How much is holy water?
Well, considering these are... Wow, I went German. Jesus, I can't do...
Actually, can I make my own?
Do you
Yeah,
have
if you knew,
bless?
it's ceremony.
Oh, is it ceremony? Do you
It's a
have
first level
ceremony?
spell.
Yeah.
I might do. Hold on. Or I can
You also
switch.
need powdered silver with a gold value on it, which I don't know what that is.
And you're a cleric, so you could just... Oh, I don't know. Do
Switch
it.
into it, yeah.
Yeah, once you guys do a long rest.
Uh, 1 second. It's ceremony, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
How much in powdered silver?
1 second. Faffing around. First level, you said.
Yep.
Did you just say you're faffing around here?
Yes, I am.
Faffing around.
Bless. Yes, I have bless.
No. Ceremony is the spell.
Oh,
Ceremony.
You can search it.
ceremony.
There's a search
got
for
it.
its feature.
There's a bunch of functions in there. One of them is make holy water.
Yeah, and you can marry people to give them like a permit or a +2 to what? AC for a week or something like that.
Not sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
Touch one vial of water, cause it to become holy water. No silver cost.
Really? Okay.
What?
Hmm.
Oh no! So
So,
you could buy water from her right now, or hey, do you have any glass jars? And go get some water from the stream, fill it up.
Yes.
Or go talk to Bombat.
Bombat, yeah, Bombat could help.
That's a good idea. Sorry. Does anyone else want to do anything before I spend more time doing stuff?
I think
I
everybody else
just want
is
to chat it up
good.
with Sewell.
Okay,
Do you want to do that first?
Sure, if you want.
go for it.
So I'm gonna go find Sewell as your. What are you doing in this courtyard?
Putting on the magical wraps and just kind of getting a feel for the new equipment.
I'm gonna approach you, hands behind my back, as I just sort of like playfully lean forward and then take another big step. And how are the reps treating you, Monsieur Sewell?
Very well. Thank you for buying them.
Well, it was only part of your cut, and I hand you 150 gold.
Okay.
Ooh. Someone's rich.
Yeah, well, someone also gave me a lot of money.
Fair.
I know what's coming.
Are they functional? Are they comfortable?
Yes, very comfortable. Still trying to figure out how to use them effectively.
Now tell me, Gashon, you know where we are going.
More or less.
Do you know that the likelihood of us coming back is slim?
But there's a chance.
There is. And I personally am gambling on that chance. And our odds have definitely increased with the addition of Fafnir Ran. He is a practiced vampire hunter, and I trust him with my life. If the accounts I have are to be believed, as I just pat my bag.
Then I shall trust in him as well.
Have you ever fought a vampire before? Or any sort of monster?
Monsters, yes. Empires, not yet.
Me too. This should be fun, as I give you a playful smirk.
I retaliate with also a playful smirk.
Before I leave, I should let you know that I'm of the opinion that we are walking into a trap. And that you should be ready for that.
No worries. I will be prepared for any trap that comes our way.
I hope so, Gashon. I will leave you to it. I'm gonna head to my quarters.
Okay. So Fafnir, you go talk to Bombat.
Bombat?
You see him peek up from a giant sun contraption as you see like a little flame off of one of his black hairs just slightly going as you see his face completely covered in soot and just blasted up. Yes?
I am in need of your expertise.
Ooh,
I bet
what
that
do
was
you
hard
need?
to say.
What do you need blown up?
I would like a way of very quickly dispensing holy water over a large area.
Oh, now we're cooking. Do you want it like in a mist form, or do you want it like sharp little needles of water? There's so many possibilities.
He's gonna sit back and think a moment.
A holy water smoke grenade. That sounds epic. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it.
Would that be a holy mist grenade?
You know, we could call it the holy hand grenade.
Something like that.
And thou shalt pull the pin, and thou shalt count to thrice.
And then thine enemies will snuff it.
Until a rabbit comes along and guts all of you. Anyways. There's a stat block out there. It's a challenge rating 30 kit. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Focus. Hand grenade.
Maybe. Or a weapon that will allow me to clear an area around me and in front of me.
Listen,
What about
pal,
a
I
grenade?
deal with explosives and explosives alone. My predecessor was even, a little bit more mad than me. But, anyways.
Very good. Then some kind of mist grenade.
Yes. Do you have a means of creating holy water?
I do.
As you see his, eyes twitching, behind his goggles.
Okay.
You see him get, 3, or, how... Above table, how many, how many spell slots do you want to burn? You can make several of these bombs.
1 second. How
You're
many
about to take a
spell
long
slots
rest.
You
do
are
I
about to,
have?
You have all of your 4th level, 3rd level, 2nd level, 1st level.
I'm gonna use all of my spell slots.
Which is
It's
what?
looking quite grim for
7, 10,
Oh,
12.
Holy shit.
And what spell are you using?
ceremony.
Ceremony.
Oh. Okay.
He just looks at you.
7? 12? This is gonna be fun.
As
You're making a holy water bomb.
you see him, he puts down what looks like a cannonball on a conveyor belt, and you see a automatic drill just start drilling into each of these cannonballs. And
Okay.
and he
So, hold on. For this, right.
okay.
Actually, I only need to do this once and do it on water in a barrel.
Oh my god.
Yep. That is true.
So I'm
Yep.
gonna bring in fill a barrel
No,
full of
he,
water.
he just
bless-
he already has one.
Bless this barrel.
Is there not a size that it says vial, right?
Yeah, is
Can
there a
that be,
size,
any
size
I was
requirement?
gonna say because a vial
It might
is
be a
usually
size
pretty
requirement.
small.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
You know what? I'll say if you expend all of your spell slots on this barrel, yeah, I'm gonna say it's charged enough to, in
Fantastic.
one massive glowing, as your hands are just glowing with bright, almost sunlight overcharging, you just touch this barrel, and you see it just gleam, and then fade as there's a slight or aurora of shimmering light above it on the surface of the water. And you see Fafnir look, ooh, interesting, as he just dunks it with a pitcher and starts pouring it into about these 3-inch vials. And then he caps it,
hold
and
on.
you see him carve a rune inside of it. What's up?
I glance around the workshop for a moment, and I see. Do I see a mug or a cup or something?
You see the pitcher that he just got the water up with.
And
This
Going
workshop
through-
is very erratic, by the way. It is not organized.
going through his mind, he pictures offering Ruth a refreshing drink. And wonders what would happen. But he dismisses the thought, deciding that he still needs her.
He fills these vials, putting runes and capping it off as you see him stick them into the more or less cannonballs. Small little about base, a little bigger, about a grapefruit size. Yeah, there we go. And you see him put a metal cap on the side where the vial is in.
Okay, so I did a very, very simple activation rune on them. You more or less focus on the holy water, and once it is released from your hand, it has about a 3 to 6 second, hopefully 6, charge
Up to 15 seconds.
of time before this thing is going to go spinning from 2 sides and release the mist.
How big of an area will the mist cover?
I don't know.
You're going to see him. Okay. And he's gonna look around for a jar as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to just have a jar of the holy water with me.
Okay.
Just in case. For if I need it for anything else.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Cool. So
I'm in danger.
I was going to say, feel free to, experiment with the rest.
Oh, this is gonna be a great time. There's so many possibilities. I could make a holy water squirt gun.
If you do, I want the first one.
What happened to that elf of yours with the gun? He would have liked this. I could have made little bullets or something.
I'm afraid he decided we were too difficult for him.
Ah. Yeah, I can see that.
For the first time ever, we are in agreement. And he turns and says, "How much?"
I'm just excited to know that they're gonna go boom. Have fun.
Gratitude.
Nice.
And he turns and he walks out the room.
Bombat
Bed.
finds simple pleasure in things that go boom, and as a wise man in clown makeup once said, dynamite and gunpowder are cheap. At least to him.
I should have asked for this a year ago.
Is he inspired by Junkrat at all?
No, he's inspired by holy shit. Ziggs off of League of Legends.
Oh, okay, cool. He
Oh,
reminds
it's
me a
going
lot
to
of Junkrat.
explode.
I wonder
A
if this-
bomb use is never wasted.
Does
Are they
anybody
similar
got a
characters,
match?
I'm sorry, what?
Are they similar?
Yes, they both like to
characters?
see things blow up.
Yeah.
Anyways, as you all sleep, you get a full rest and you can get all of those 12 spell slots back Fafnir. You guys awaken and we're gonna get one more thing done and call it there. But anyways,
Cool.
you guys wake up and you all walk to the common area and already find Kree and Miss Allard making a very elegantly chalked out teleportation circle with very defined runes, and this is professionally done with much experience.
Sorry, go on.
Holy shit. I forgot her name because I'm so good at names. The Ruby Dawn's matriarch basically looks at you,
Voss.
Voss, thank you, Miss Voss, in her very pristine armor. So, is everybody ready for this adventure that we are sending you on?
Spencer,
What's up?
can Ruth attempt to remember how they did the teleportation circle and the runes that they used? Or would that be too far-fetched?
It would be a very high Arcana check.
Can I roll for it?
You may.
What do I have to get?
I ain't telling you.
Okay. Alrighty, D20. 16.
Yeah, this is very advanced, and you see some of the symbols, but it would be too much for you to memorize.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else anybody wants to do? You guys
can I
get
maybe
Yeah.
can I maybe reach here a little bit to help with that 16? Just like some like information to give. Is that okay?
Sure, to give her advantage. Sure.
No.
Oh.
Just like what she would get with a 16.
Oh.
More.
Sure.
These are coordinates from this
Oh.
particular location to another particular location, which may be why it's difficult to figure out exactly what the runic markings are, because that's like remembering the exact latitude, longitude, and time
Of London.
in London like 3 minutes ago and 7 milliseconds. Like it's just something. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous, you know.
Right, yeah.
Nema, do you remember when I was talking you through my origin bits?
Okay.
That my order likes to break things like that and knows how to sneak in, change some rune rounds. So I'm guessing that Fafnir probably knows how to destroy such a system, not actually how it works.
You just have to ruin the circle, basically.
Or
Yeah, literally drag your
change-
sword across it.
Yeah, literally just
Or
mess
ch-
up one of the rooms.
I'm
not
It's
talking-
toast.
You're using
Change
this,
it.
so I wouldn't suggest that.
No.
but-
I'm not talking like he knows how to change a couple of the runes to make it explode.
No, more like, potentially end up in, I don't know, limbo or, the far realm.
Right.
Or the middle of the ocean.
He knows how
Or,
to
yeah, the
cause
middle
problems.
of the ocean, and I don't mean just floating up in the air, I mean like 3,000 feet under the, ocean.
So
He said diagonally.
He's going to stand next to Victor and point at some of the runes and say, "Those get damaged. Yeah, we'll never know what happened."
Then make
Wow.
sure
Very
that they
cryptic
don't
thing
get
to
damaged,
say.
Fafnir. And as you guys are talking, the
I pull out my scimitar of warning a little bit and I point at it. It's not red, and I put it back in.
and the Warforged comes behind you, and he's like, "Your sword
Gratitude.
and your shield."
He's going to take it and nod again.
I infused it. It should pack a more, flammable touch.
Thank you.
And
Just so everyone knows, I have chronic headaches and I do struggle with them, so just to let the group know. I'm sorry if this slows us down at all.
I'm a medical professional. I have many herbs in my bag that could potentially help with headaches, migraines, dehydration.
Oh, very
Kinds of
nice.
Perhaps you should drink some water.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
just watch her melt in front of you.
I feel like it would be more
I
like
knew it.
firecrackers going off in her mouth.
It just starts oh god. Anyways, sorry.
Why do you carry
Is-
water with you? Are you dehydrated?
Sometimes.
Is everybody ready?
I nod.
Yep.
Ruth
Wonderful.
nods.
You see Greyfloor jumping up and down.
We're going home.
And you guys go in the center, and luckily anyways, you go in the center and you just see bright lights flash up, and you guys are whisked away, going through ethereal realm, and you guys find yourself, boom, on a rickety old dock. It is about midday, but the sun does not shine through.
Through what?
A thick canopy of clouds and mist. You see old, decrepit ships around you, not a soul in sight. Abandoned, rickety fishing cabins. And who has a passive perception above 15? Greyfalor, Fafnir.
Above
I'm at
15?
14.
Yes.
I think that's it.
So 15. 15 is the match. That's what I'm just asking.
Oh yeah, I have 15.
Victor?
9. I have 9.
Cool. Okay.
Past perception.
I think Fafnir also has 15, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I said.
Yeah.
You guys notice off in the distance a mist, like a great fog, following a dirt path in a singular pole that hangs, a single oil lit lamp swaying back and forth, and beneath it there's almost what you could describe as an incorporeal girl in a tatted dress, just staring at you as her hair is draping over her face.
Is my blade humming?
No.
I look at Fafnir, and then I look at Ruth.
Do you,
You're supposedly the experts?
Fafnir, do you look at him as he's talking?
I'm watching this go.
Okay.
Ruth looks at
you
the
blink,
doctor.
as you blink, your eyes open back to this girl right in front of you.
Jesus.
Her one
Whoa.
eye almost pulled back and decaying in a ghostly form staring up at you. And she opens wheezing. The masters wish to speak to you. As you see her put her hands in her mouth, one on the lower jaw, one on the top, as she peels her head back, and the jaw dislocates and the skin cracks as black blood pours down, and you see her top of her head almost open all the way up, going back as her hair starts draping back, and black blood is just pouring back as you see her hand grab what seems to be a decent sized scroll from her throat, pulls it out as her hand twists and holds it in front of you as her
What
mouth
in
Ruth
the
is
name of
stares
Dead
in
Space?
yeah, Ruth is staring in like shock and disgust. Who is she handing it to specifically?
She's
Who's in the
standing
front?
of me.
Yeah,
Like,
Fafnir.
like I've been the one looking at it. What does she hand me?
A scroll, like a very elegantly decorated golden scroll in what looks like silvers and black gold adorned, like official like casing for a scroll.
He takes the scroll. Like, his face is granite. There is no emotion, no expression.
You
Takes it.
see as you hear the cracking as her face, her top of her head goes back, and you hear the as it goes back, and you see her wounds slowly start going back as you just see this bulging eye, and she just fades away. And that's where we'll end
Kind
this
of
session.
Yay.
All right.
Sounds good.
New member goofing.
Oh, thank you everyone for joining.
Wait, did you get that unit?
Ugh.
Uh,
Thank you everyone for
Yay.
joining. I hope everybody had fun. You all have a fantastic evening, and we will see you not next Monday because many of my players can't make it. The following Monday after that, so that would be the 5th.
Oh, okay. Heard.
Bye-bye.